Hello everyone, how you going? And welcome to Crazy Laws that still exist around the world. Now we've been checking out a lot of Australian content, weird and strange and all those kind of things, but I think I should definitely just branch out and check out what the world has on offer. So let's just see what these people have to say.
Thinking about taking a bath with a donkey?
A
Fancy
bath
getting
with a
drunk in a
donkey.
British pub will land you in trouble
Wow, I
with the
can
long
only
arm
assume
of the
there's
law.
going to be some
Laws of the
absolute
land that may
doozies
have
in
made
there,
sense
but
when
here we
first
go.
brought
Oh, of
about
course they're gonna
have
be
a habit
old,
of
yeah.
sticking around.
How do you
Great
even
Britain
find
has some
out
of the
these
strangest
things? But
laws
here
in the
we go.
world,
Alright
some
then.
of which are broken every day.
Yeah, I
It is
can only
illegal,
imagine.
for example, to be drunk in a pub in the UK. How many thousands of Brits break that law every single day?
We probably have
It
that
is
law as
also
well, I'm
illegal
fairly
to
sure.
carry a plank of wood along the pavement, especially, one would imagine,
Wait.
after getting drunk in the pub.
What? Oh,
Not quite
well,
so
you wouldn't
bizarre
wanna dare.
is the stipulation that members of Parliament in jolly old
Yeah.
England are not allowed to wear a suit of armour in Parliament.
Wow.
But surely this law...
Oh my goodness, so far we're starting off with some absolutely crazy ones. Obviously the first one, not being allowed to get drunk in a British pub. I don't know how many people should be thrown in jail every day for that, but oh man, they're going to be having a low population that's free. And then to carry a plank of wood down the street, like I would love to know where that originated from, because surely for all of these laws, something had to happen for them to go, nah, that is it, this is not allowed anymore, you are not allowed to carry a plank of wood down the street. And so yeah, I'd love to know what it is. And then a suit of armour in Parliament, I mean, I guess that's just an extremely old law, but man, the Brits are starting off with some doozies.
should have been updated by the lawmakers themselves while in Parliament.
I would honestly love for someone
it
just
is
to walk
also
into
highly
Parliament with a
illegal
full
to
suit of
handle
armour.
a salmon in suspicious circumstances in England
Suspiciously
and Wales.
handling
and
salmon.
if there is an unsuspicious way to handle freshwater fish out
Yeah.
of water, we'd love to see it. It's
Well, no, but how is there an unsuspicious and a suspicious way to handle fish? Like, what are you doing? Are you like kind of smuggling in a trench coat, or what are you doing for salmon as well? Not just fish, but salmon.
also an offense to beat or shake a carpet
Oh,
or rug,
whoa.
except if it's a doormat, before 8 a.m.
Oh,
in the
before
UK.
8 a.m.
And
Okay,
if
I
you're
was
an
gonna say at all.
Englander, forget about dining on exotic waterfowl. Unless you happen to
That's
be the
because
Queen
they're
of
the
England,
queens. Yeah,
it is
there we
illegal
go.
to eat a swan.
Yes,
Should you
there we
be
go.
pregnant in Britain, it is perfectly legal to spend a penny in a policeman's hat, or in fact, anywhere else should it be an emergency.
What do you
And
mean
on a similar
spend? I'm
note,
so
and on the
confused about that
subject
one,
of
but anyway.
toilets, up in Scotland, if somebody knocks on your door asking to
Yeah.
use the bog, you must, by law, let them
must.
inside and offer your bathroom. And
Wow,
bagpipes,
imagine
there
the
may
amount
be
of
more to
people
that
that would go,
folktale
"No, I'm
about
not doing that,"
Scotsmen
and they
and
go,
their
"Excuse
kilts.
me, officer?"
Ever wondered what exactly is beneath the famous tartan kilt?
Nothing.
Well, according to ancient legend, nothing.
Yes.
No underwear can be worn under the kilt.
Not
and
allowed.
according to an old
That's the
law,
entire
or
point.
perhaps to be fair, urban legend, if a Scotsman is found to be wearing underwear beneath his kilt, then he is routinely charged 2 beers by whoever discovered
What?
his non-commando status.
Wait, okay, what the hell does routinely charged mean? Like, is that saying that, okay, so you owe me 2 beers now, and then in a week's time you owe me 2 more beers, and then in 2 weeks time, like, what the hell? What do you mean routinely charged? I mean, I guess it could just mean, okay, you owe me 2 beers, but that is just such a strange kind of way to pay someone back. It is so weird. It's so Scottish, or even just, I don't know, that part of the world in general.
Fair share of quirky laws.
Imagine if
in
these kind of things
Arizona,
were implemented
allowing
now.
your pet donkey to sleep in the bathtub is against the law.
What?
Placing salt on a
Where
railway
did this come
track is
from?
an offense punishable by the death penalty in
that
Birmingham.
because
At first
the
glance,
train
this
could
seems a
derail?
tad harsh. But the reason is that the train could either derail
Yeah.
or attract cattle onto the track,
Oh,
which could
attract
also
cattle
result in
'cause
a
of
major
its salt
derailment
lick.
or at
Yes,
least a
of
delay.
course.
So don't go putting salt on the rails, kids.
Yeah,
it's
wow, I
also
didn't
against
even
the
think
law
about
to
that.
play
So
a game of
random, but it kinda
frisbee
makes the
without
most sense out
first
of the ones we've
acquiring the
seen.
permission of a lifeguard in Los Angeles.
Oh, no.
Although responsible
Imagine
frisbee
all the
throwing is,
lifeguards
we are
going,
told,
"No."
permitted. Who can blame
The
the
valid
city
trip that
with
that
all
would
those
have.
lawsuits flying around? And what happened to the chicken who crossed the road in Georgia? Its owner got arrested. It is
Owner?
against the law to let your chickens
Whoa.
roam around unattended in this state.
Surely you would just go, no, that's not my chicken. That's my neighbor's chicken. I don't own any chickens. It's like, well, you have 6 million chickens. No, that one in particular, I have that one. I have perfect memory of all my chickens. That one's not mine. I'm not being fined. So you can't find it. You can't prove me. I mean, I guess unless you have every single chicken you own microchip, but there was just no way that that would ever be implemented. That is great. I love
In
Georgia
Hawaii,
for that.
it is illegal to work at the same company as your twin brother or sister.
What?
We guess this law is in place to avoid workplace confusion as to who is doing what and who has taken the day off.
Illegal,
and
though.
dog lovers,
Not
beware.
even just like, oh,
Unless you
it's a
have
little
4
bit,
legs
you know,
and a
not
tail
normal.
that wags, it's illegal to live in a dog kennel in Idaho, bringing
Whoa.
a whole new meaning to sleeping in the doghouse.
What about cats? Actually, I guess I said 4 legs and a tail. So yeah, I guess cats could do it and a whole bundle of things could do it, but no, you're not allowed. Out to the doghouse? Well, sorry, I can't go out to the doghouse. I'm not in trouble anymore. It's illegal. I'm not going to do something illegal. Thank you very much.
Perhaps stranger than all these laws, though, is the law in Vermont whereby women who want false teeth
What?
are required by law, to first obtain permission
Oh
from their
my
husband.
goodness, how
Quite why this
old
law
is
still
these?
exists is totally baffling to us here
Wow.
at the Infographic Show. Perhaps someone can explain this one to us.
Yeah,
And
so women in, where was it, Florida?
stranger than all these laws, though, is the law in Vermont,
In
whereby
Vermont,
women who want
man, so if women want false teeth for whatever reason, whether they've been in some kind of accident, whether they're getting older, but they have to apply through their husbands, I guess, just to be able to get false teeth. Like I said, that law must be so old that it's ridiculous.
And then there's the strange legal world of mainland Europe.
What do you have?
In
Oh,
Greece, it
man,
is illegal to go
mainland Europe.
sightseeing around the ancient ruins wearing high heels.
Wearing
and
high
in France,
heels,
it is
okay.
illegal to name your pet pig Napoleon.
Oh
in
no,
Rome,
I can
Italy,
only assume
keeping
that
a
probably would have come around with Napoleon going, no, I am not going to be called a pig. How dare you name your pig Napoleon? I am of absolute godly status. How dare you name such a lowly creature the same as me? And so then from there, the entire law is just stuck around. But man, and also, what was this one? No high heels around there. I mean, at first I thought they were going to be saying you can't just visit them in general. Going, hang on a second, isn't that half the reason that people or tourists go to these places is just to see them? But okay, if high heels, I can kind of understand, or at least I can understand a very long time ago why that wouldn't have been a thing. But man, now we're just, all of these laws are just so old. It's great.
In Rome, Italy, keeping a
In
lone
Italy.
goldfish in a fishbowl is considered animal cruelty and is against the law. But if you have
That's
more than
kind of
one in the
cool, to be
bowl,
honest.
that is considered acceptable because we all know fish are sociable creatures.
Yeah, and fish are friends, not food, obviously. But no, that just makes so much sense. That's actually the most reasonable one I think we've had, and it's going to be so much more reasonable than any of the ones we're going to have, because really, even though everyone could argue that goldfish aren't the most kind of intelligent, complex creatures, at the same time, for anyone to spend their entire life completely isolated, especially in just literally a goldfish bowl, it's basically animal abuse, and so you can certainly understand why that law would even exist. And so, even though I was just saying that all of these laws I can only imagine would be quite old, I would love to actually know when this was brought in, because it sounds like it would actually be, I don't know, if you said it was brought out last month or 2 years ago, I would kind of go, okay, that makes sense then.
Kids in parts of Poland are not allowed to travel outside the house with any
Poland?
Winnie the Pooh memorabilia,
Wait,
including
what?
t-shirts, backpacks, or lunchboxes. The
Where
cartoon
did this
character
come
is considered
from?
a non-gender specific inappropriate hermaphrodite without
Whoa.
having the decency to wear a pair of pants, and the Poles, for some reason, find Winnie's lack of
Wow.
genitalia offensive.
That is incredible. That is so oddly specific. Out of all the possible things that you could either be, I don't know what to call it, but either offended by or whatever it may be, just the fact that they had to make a law about the entire thing really just says a lot about the entire legal state, doesn't it? And also considering the fact that we know that Winnie Pooh isn't thousands of years old, and so you can go, okay, so we definitely know that, I don't even know when Winnie the Pooh first came out, but for argument's sake, let's just say it came out in the 50s or the 40s, or I don't even know, but that means it's only like 60, 70, 80 years old, and so you're going, this law isn't thousands, even hundreds of years old. It's only a few years old in the grand scheme of things. And so really, considering how far and how quickly the world is modernizing into kind of a current modern kind of mindset, the fact that this law even exists to begin with is incredible. And also, now I'm wondering, are adults allowed to wear it? Because I'm fairly sure they said no children are allowed to wear it outside. And so is it only children that aren't allowed to wear it outside? Like, are you allowed to be 80 and just wear it outside, or what is going on? I'm so confused, but man, that is a very, very strange law.
This one isn't exactly an ancient law, but
Yeah.
was simply too brilliant to leave out of our study of
Exactly.
quirky laws.
That's
In
so
the
good.
Cambodian capital of Phnom
Here we
Penh, the
go.
sale and importation of water pistols is prohibited during New Year festivities.
Oh, wait,
the
what?
reason being that a popular way to enjoy the New Year in this
Was to
part
go
of the
around
world
spraying
is to
people?
take part in a huge water fight.
And they made
that,
it illegal.
Governor Che Sofara reckons, may lead to social unrest. In
Wow,
Thailand, it is
okay
illegal
then,
to
fair
step on
enough, I
money,
guess.
and it is also illegal to leave
Wow.
home without wearing underwear.
Oh,
it is also illegal
no
to hold your hand.
underwear, no commandos. I wonder how they do their entire military, because, I mean, I guess maybe you're not leaving home, you're already left home, and then you cook them off. And so I wonder how that works. Is there a couple of loopholes where you go, okay, I'm at work in commando, doing the SAS, doing all the kind of special forces stuff, and then now I get to go commando? Or do you just never allowed, you have to wear underwear? I mean, obviously that's just kind of an urban myth, but either way, the entire thing is quite funny. You have to wear underwear, and you're also not allowed to step on money. I wonder where things like that came from. Is it considered dirty, or is it because it's considered property of the government, and so you're not allowed to damage property of the government like that? Man, there's some very, very strange ones. I hope that they get to Australia and say something really, really weird, just because I would just love to know what some random thing is that we've got.
Handout in tribute to the Hunger Games, or to publicly
Wait.
criticize underwear. It is also illegal
It's
to hold your
also-
hand out in tribute to the Hunger Games,
What?
or to publicly criticize
so
a fellow
weird.
countryman. In
Oh,
parts
okay.
of India,
That's
if
kind
a
of
man
fair,
is
I
in
guess.
debt, he
Yeah,
can
I mean, I
legally
can
offer
kind
his...
of understand it, even though it's a little bit of a limitation on free speech. Everyone could kind of be nice to everyone, so yeah, I guess I can understand why a law like that might exist, but at the same time, it is just a little bit of a limitation on free speech, and so I don't know how I feel about that one.
In parts of India, if a man is
Parts
in
of
debt,
India.
he can legally offer his wife as a
look at
down
that
payment
image.
until
Oh,
the debt
no.
is settled.
As a
In
down
Japan,
payment?
it is
Who even just takes that down payment, and what happens? That is just so weird. I can only assume that that is a very old law, but that is the... I don't even know what to say to that one. That is so weird. I just have so many more questions surrounding it. Like, how is the entire transaction done? Do you just kind of bring him along like that? Dude, like, come on, I don't care what you think. You're kicking and screaming, but I need to pay off the debt, so you're the down payment. That is so weird.
He can legally offer his wife as a down payment until the debt is settled.
I wonder
in
if
Japan,
anyone even
it
does
is illegal
that.
to be
Surely
fat,
not.
with the government setting a
Yes,
maximum
a waistline,
of
isn't it?
33.5 inches for men and 35.5 inches for women.
That's so
in China,
weird. I mean, actually, I say it's weird, but at the same time, it kind of makes sense. You know, if you are a larger person, you are more likely to be costing the government money in terms of health expenditure and all those kind of things. And so I wonder how sumos get around it. But either way, I can only assume that it comes from something like that, where it's either an image of the country or a spending thing or whatever it may be. And so, to be honest, besides maybe the goldfish one, I think that one is the most reasonable one.
Banned from reincarnating unless they have specific government permission.
The government...
Yes, Asia is a wacky place.
Wait, so I need to listen to that again.
And 35.5 inches for women. In China, Buddhist monks are banned from reincarnating unless they have specific government permission. Yes, Asia is a wacky place.
Wow, you have to get government permission to kind of, I don't know what to call it besides practice or fulfill your faith, or I don't even know how that works, but that's incredible. How do you even go about doing that? And what happens if you get rejected? Is that like your entire life's work over?
In Samoa, it is illegal to forget your wife's
we're coming down
birthday.
here.
In Australia, it is against the law to disrupt a wedding.
What is it?
Act that is punishable by a fine of $10,000.
$10,000.
All in all,
wait,
to
I need to
disrupt a
take
wedding,
things back.
it is illegal to forget your wife's birthday.
It is illegal to forget your wife's birthday. I wonder why. Because as I said at the start of the video, surely something has to happen for these laws to come into place. And so what happened for it to be illegal to forget your wife's birthday? And then also coming down to Australia,
it is against the law to disrupt a wedding, an act that is punishable by a fine of $10,000.
Wow, that's a lot of money, but to be honest, I can kind of understand, because some people would be spending a lot of money on their wedding, and so if someone just comes in and completely disrupts it, I hope that you'd get fined, because I'm fairly sure that the people that paid for it and planned it and spent however long and going to spend the rest of their lives together would probably rather not have their entire day ruined by some hooligan that just wants to kind of just come in and ruin it for them.
All in all, across the world, while laws are there to help protect us and keep society functioning as a moral and ethical place, some of the decisions made by lawmakers will keep on baffling us as long as old laws remain and new bizarre rules come into being. So, what's the strangest law you've ever heard of?
Goodness, that was so weird, but also awesome just to hear these strange things. You go, like I was saying, how old are some of these laws? You know, I wish they could have figured that out to go, okay, this one is like 2,000 years old. And so you go, okay, at least I can understand. I don't know why it's still in there, but at least it was actually put in there when it actually might have made sense. But for some of them, like the Winnie the Pooh and all these random ones, you go, really? Like, that's within the last, like I said, 80 years, 50 years, whatever it may be, and you're still bringing in these random laws. That is absolutely incredible. And so, yeah, wow, that was a great little video. It made me laugh and just so many different emotions. You're going, what, how, and why, and all these different things. I'm also fairly sure that they completely neglected Africa, and so I'd love to know if there's some random ones in there. I can only assume there would be, and then also obviously there's just a million different island nations and Asian nations, and man, there are so many different countries around the world. I'm sure this video could have been like an hour long, but really in saying that, that was a nice short little video where you go, I guess the world still has a little bit of a way to come, you know, even though we might be bringing in new laws and, you know, we have to kind of adopt the internet in terms of legal systems and whatnot. Hopefully the world can just certainly just continue to move past all these old laws, like random things, and you go, come on now, we certainly have to move it into at least, I don't know, the modern millennia, let alone the last century. But anyway, in saying that, I reckon I'm going to call it there. So thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, make sure to leave the YouTube algorithm things down below. Also, if this is the first video of mine that you're watching, then make sure to check out some of the other videos I've done, which are weird laws in Australia and just weird things in general. And also make sure to check out the original video. I'll make sure I'll link it down in the description. Or hey, maybe you even just want to consider subscribing so that you don't miss another one of these in the future. But all in all, have a good one and see ya.